see. Can you see the slides?
Yes, I can see them.
Ah, okay. Okay, well, I'm going to try to do it short. I want to show you what we do in this shelter. You are now seeing, watching a house, a little house, very colorful. This is the shelter where we work with refugees in Mexico City. It's in a neighborhood that is not very nice. And also the shelter, you're going to see more pictures and you're going to see that the shelter is a very, I don't know how to say it. No, it needs a lot of money. No, it's not very comfortable. It's not, no, it has a lot of problems, but is what we have, no? I work here with students. They are, the class is called Community Psychology, and they are studying psychology, a bachelor's degree. And we go here every week, actually every Wednesday to work with the people who is staying in this shelter. The shelter has like I think like 25 beds. I don't remember how you call it, bunk beds, like one on top of the other, no? It's more or less like 25 spaces, and sometimes they have 90 people. So sometimes it's very crowded and they have to sleep on the floor, no? And well, these people, I'm going to show you where are they come from and what do they want to achieve. And normally, some of them want to keep on going up north to cross the border and go to the US because many of them have already relatives or friends living in the US. It's impressive how there are so many communities from all over the world that they are already in the US, no? And some of them, they want to stay in Mexico and apply for refugee status in Mexico City. But well, now with your new president, the administration and the policies, no, the immigration policies, well, it's harder and harder to cross. So they are wondering if they stay in Mexico or they want to go back to their countries. Huh? So that's the first thing that I want to say. Okay, let me know if you can see the next slide.
Yep,
Can
it's working. Hmm.
Okay, okay. So this woman is the director of the refugee of shelter, and that's the entrance. No, it says "Welcome to Casa Tochan." Casa Tochan is the name of the place, and what we do with the students is this a participatory workshop. All around the semester, no? And we work with different topics with the people there. The shelter is only for men. So when women or children arrive, they have to be placed in another shelter, no? So what we try to do is to help them adapt to the Mexican way of life, no? In any sense. Some don't speak Spanish, so we try to help them to get into classes to learn Spanish, to get a job, eventually to get a place to stay, a house, no? And to get to be able to get the refugee status given by the Mexican government. No, so it's so we work in this workshop, and the workshop says there 6 dimensions that I'm going to show you which ones they are here. You can see where we work. In that picture, you see people, the people who are staying in the, I call them the guests of the house, no? The guests and some students, no? So we work with those 6 dimensions, not physical, psychological, educational, social, political, and economic. Now we try to help them to achieve all these like it's human rights that they know, like to be able to study, to be able to get a house, to be able to get some food, to be able to get medical attention and also psychological attention. No, so those things that we work with them, and we follow this John Berry's acculturation model. He is a social psychologist from Canada, and he has this model where what it says, no, in a few words, is that the best way to adapt to a new place, if you are a foreign people, is to learn the new ways of the new place, no? Learn the language, learn how the people, how they relate to each other, how can you get a job, how can you get a, no? But also keep your traditions and many things of your culture. So that's a yes, no? And that is called integration, no? If you see the graphic, no, it says integration means that you keep your values from your culture, but also you learn the new values of the new culture. So we work with this model all the workshop, no? And well, we are being hearing that many people are now also being they are getting out of their countries, running away from their countries also for climate issues. No? See here, I am showing you the countries that we have been working with people from these countries, no? From Latin America, uh, from those countries, no? Venezuela, Colombia, Honduras, El Salvador, Guatemala, Nicaragua, Haiti, no? That's Central America, some of South America, and Haiti is an island, now you know. Those are the countries that they come from in Latin America, but we also have people from Africa, Congo, Nigeria, Cameroon, Tanzania, Morocco, Ghana, from Asia also. Now we have been working with people from Ukraine, for example, now, from Russia, from China, Uzbekistan, and Vietnam, and also from Middle East, no? The most recent people that we work with from the Middle East is from Jordan, Afghanistan, and Syria. This also has a lot of things that we have to keep in mind as Mexican students. For example, when we work with people from Arab countries or Muslim countries, we have to keep in mind things like physical contact. Be careful with physical contact, and some men don't want to work with women students. And we in Mexico, at least I don't know in the US, but the psychology students, most of them are women. I don't know in the US. The same or no?
It's largely similar. Yeah, yeah.
Okay. So we have to keep that in mind, but we have people from all over the world, no? And uh, very strange that they get in Mexico, no? And but yes, we have here in this slide. I want to show you the journeys that they take to get it to Mexico, no? And some journeys are very like some come from directly from Africa, some come from Europe, mostly from Spain, and they can take boats, they can take flights. Some airports in South America are very easy to, I don't know how to say it. No, you can have a fake passport and they don't notice, no? Like in Brazil or in Ecuador. So many people fly to those places and they keep on going up, no, until they reach Mexico. So many people, for example, they have to cross. There is a very important jungle, I think it's called that jungle, I think it's in Panama, right before starting Central America. And that they have to cross this very dangerous jungle, and they have lots of horrible stories of what they face in this jungle, no? But that's all the way up, no? In Central America. So in the slide, you also can see how many kilometers they have to, how do you say, ride, no? For example, if they go out from Nigeria and they want to go to Tijuana, Mexico, not which is up north in the border with the US, they have to ride 22,600 kilometers. So sometimes it's not like to take a flight, so sometimes they have to walk and they have to take buses, and it's very difficult. So there's this when they arrive to Mexico, they are very tired. Sometimes they have been spending months in other countries in order to get money to get to the to Mexico, and they want to keep on going up, not to the US. But now, since we have these new policies from Trump's administration, we are starting to have people who are deported, no? They didn't make it to cross, and they are coming back, and they are staying in Mexico City to decide what they want to do. They want to stay, they want to wait, or they want to go back to their countries. Huh? So that's how it is. Now, as I told you, we are looking at the fact that many people are now leaving their countries because of climate change. And I wrote here that the main reason is the droughts or the flooding, and they cannot grow crops or cultivate the fields. And many of the people who migrate are, how do you say? Well, people who work in the field, no? People who they grow vegetables or fruits, and that's how they feed their family, and that's how they sell the products, not to get money. So we are hearing that it doesn't rain anymore, and we have changed our house to another region inside of our own country, and still we have the problem. The people who receive us, they don't want us, no? So they have to cross borders because of this reason, no? Also, I wrote you there that we have in Mexico and in many countries of the third world, we have what we call internal circuit migration. I don't know if you know what it is. No. So these are many people who live in one region, but they know that there are some months, for example, in Mexico, they live in south of the country in Mexico, which the south is more is poor, no? And they know that certain months of the year in the north of the country, they need people to get for example, to harvest, no, not to harvest, to get the apples or to get the strawberries from the field, not to pick them up, pick it. pick pick the fruits. So they get hired there, no? And they get hired for a couple of months to pick the fruits, and then they go back, no? So, and many people live with this, no? With this internal migration, no? They go up, stay a couple of months, and they go, and then they go back to their house. And this is also being impossible with climate migration, no? So they don't get the job anymore because they don't, no? And they need to cross border. Also, we had before, like in the 70s, I think, a special visa with the US with your government about with that included circuit migration. So in the US accepted people from Mexico to get and go there and pick up the fruits and then go back to Mexico. So that was legal, no? But that visa doesn't exist anymore, no? But they still did it, no? But now with no papers, they cross, they go to the fields, they pick up the fruits, and they come back. So that's another type of migration which was very helpful for the families, no? And now it's over, no? And now I wrote you there why, no? Because of the droughts, no? The flooding and droughts and flooding are the origins of many social conflicts. Yeah? Also, we have the problem of the violence and the organized crime groups. No, the organized crime groups are taking land and are becoming like the owners of many crops. It's very dangerous, no? Like for example, the avocado that you know that you eat in the Super Bowl, no? The avocado or the lemon, the limes, all these places where they grow these vegetables and fruits, the narco, no, the people with the narco crime groups take that, no, or they charge a tax, and the people who are growing the crops and everything, they cannot pay the it's too much not to work, and they pay the tax. It's not a tax, no, it's like a, I don't know how you call it, but it's a money that they ask, no? And so we have that problem, and also we are hearing in the group that we have in with the guests in the Casa Tochan about how extreme heat conditions are aggravating violence in many ways, no? For example, I told you that we don't get women, but we have many women who come. We have to place them in another shelter of women, but they're coming more and more, and because of domestic violence. So the heat waves are accelerating domestic violence, no? So that's very sad. We are detecting many mental health issues between the people. Here you can see a picture of the people who are attending our workshop. Huh? Mainly men, mainly young men. And we are detecting that there are direct victims of the climate change and indirect victims. No, so people who are suffering themselves the droughts, the heat, superheat conditions, and also people who are not affected themselves, but they're watching what is happening, and they are psychologically being affected. No, so those two types of victims we are having in the shelter, no? Also, well, I wrote you there, for example, suicide, I don't know how to pronounce it, suicidal risk. We have we have a lot of problems with that, no? That guess that they say no, it's well, they are very sad. They cannot cross the border. They cannot go back to their countries because of the conditions, the drought, that they cannot grow the corn or the vegetables that they were used to grow. And they get some this mental health problems, and the communities are not prepared to help or to shelter the people with mental health disorders, so they have to go away, no? Or there are no treatments for some disorders. For example, psychosis, schizophrenic, and those types of mental health problems, they don't have any treatments in their countries, and they have to go to someplace else. No? So we have these problems. Here is another picture of the shelter. You can see that people have to sleep in on the floor. You see the mattresses, no? Because there is no enough space, no, in the shelter. And but still the shelter says, okay, no, come in. No, we don't, because if you don't receive the people, they stay out and sleep on the street. So you have to, no, welcome them. So what we do with our workshop, what we try to do is restoring a sense of belonging and identity in these people, no? Optimizing psychological resources, um, managing initiatives to foster changes in the environment, individual behavior, and the quality and frequency of social interactions. That's we try that they get some more social networks, no? That they can help. And also, if they come, where are they from? No, and we ask them, and if they say, for example, we are from Guatemala, we try to locate where all other people from Guatemala live in Mexico City, so they can relate with them. Huh? Well, promoting physical and emotional health habits, and detecting and preventing situations of risk, and also helping them to get their rights, no? Medical attention, educational, getting a job, and also psychological services. That's what we try to do with them when we go with the students. And well, thank you. That's it. I don't know if you have a question. I am happy to to answer.
Let's give Elsa a round of applause. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Yeah. So yeah, we've definitely got time to do a whole round of Q&A with Elsa. So if anyone has questions, go ahead and shout them out.
Um, Hey, also, thanks for that presentation. And I was recently in Mexico City, and it was a great experience. I have a couple of questions. Maybe the first one is easier, and then the second one is maybe a little bit more involved. Um, so how do you identify them as climate refugees? And is it only climate refugees that are in this shelter? Like, is the shelter specifically for climate refugees? Or is just this so happen that when you talk to them, a lot of them kind of come from areas that have been affected by droughts and floods, and that's why you kind of overall kind of classify them as climate refugees. I would just be curious about that.
Mm-hmm. Well, the shelter is for everyone. is not only for climate refugees. And when they talk about with us about why the reasons why they left, they say um, that is because of the climate. Maybe they don't say the word climate, but they say we cannot harvest anymore our food. No? We cannot. We went to the. We always go to the market and sell our products, and we don't have any products now to sell, and so we don't have any money, and we cannot live there anymore. That's are the type of responses that we get. So, and more, no? But also, the reasons are um, sometimes they have different reasons, no, to move, no? It's not only because of the drought. It's also because the violence, no? And also because the violence, maybe the gangs, no, and the town where they live is no longer safe, or the domestic violence is more and more frequent, no. But they do say something about the climate change problems. That
Mm.
was one of the reasons that made them leave.
I mean, it makes sense because that's now the largest number of refugees are, somehow either directly or indirectly related to climate change. Um, my other question is kind of like around the framing of your work. So you introduced as one of your kind of theoretical frameworks that you work with Barry's the simulation model, and that it's a very traditional social psychology model that has been criticized by community psychologists as being a little bit too individualistic kind of focused and not really taking a kind of an ecological lens to this issue of refugees and kind of like a more refugee justice kind of lens. So I'm kind of a bit curious about like what led you to use that model as a self-identified community psychologist, and have you seen some limitations in working with that as kind of your guiding model?
Mhm. Well, I told you about the berries model because I had the slide and I took it. But we use different theories and different models for our workshop, and not only the berries model, acculturation model. So I am aware that the model has some critics, no? But we don't focus everything on the model. No, we don't follow the model. We follow different different perspectives, and we what we do is okay, the workshop is not about giving them a theory or giving them a class, no? It's about working with them some topic that is uh, they are interested, no? For
Mhm.
example, one day, one session, we bring them people who already who are refugees in Mexico City, who went with all the process of not all the problems that they face that are similar as the one as the problems that they are facing now, these guests. And it's like I don't know how do you call it? They present it's a testimony of life, for example, no? So they hear these people who already passed through all the problems and how they solve the problems and how are they living in Mexico and how they got a good job and they got housing and they got medical attention. And so they can be like inspired by these people, no? That's one of the sessions that we have.
Thank you.
Thank you so much, Elsa. As you were presenting, um, I just got to thinking about how many of these climate refugees are able to do a similar kind of work that they did in their home country. Like, and maybe the answer is you don't know. I don't know, but does your organization that you work with follow up or help know how many people, like what kind of work they enter after participating in these workshops, and are they able to find um, like a similar kind of opportunity they they were working in their home country?
Mhm. Yes, we have one session about that, no? And we ask them what they used to do in their own countries to to, to gather information of what skills they have. And then with that information, we try to give them some opportunities of jobs that are maybe related of their with their skills. No? So some people, for example, they had a little restaurant in their own countries, and they are good cookers. They know how to cook, and maybe now they can work in a restaurant in Mexico. But the reality is that the Mexican community is not ready to, I don't know, accept people from other places. And the working conditions are not prepared. For example, when you arrive, if you want to get a job in Mexico, you need to have a special ID, like you have the green card, no? And so these people don't have that ID needed to work, so they get very informal jobs and they pay very little. No? For example, in the construction, no? In the construction work, or being like people who I don't know how to say it. They have jobs during the night, like security guards at night of some buildings. So those jobs, they're not formal. They don't have any anything but the money they give them, and they can pay them less because they are not with the law. So it's a lot of problem, no? And also that's why they still want to go to the US, because the minimum wage in Mexico is the same as 1 hour of the minimum wage in the US. So there is no way you cannot compare. You can earn a lot more money in the US, even if you have a very horrible job in the US. They pay a lot more that than in Mexico. So it's really a problem. Also, another problem is that they don't have the scholarity, the educational years. They have a very few educational years, and they don't have they don't have a degree, for example, no? Sometimes they have like the first years of primary school and that's it. So that is not helping to get a good job.
Thank you for that. Yeah.
Mm.
I would I have a couple maybe quicker questions. Forgive me if you already said this, but how long are the workshops usually?
The workshops are 10 sessions.
Oh, okay.
Mhm. But what we face a lot of problems because 10 sessions is around like 4 months,
Mm-hmm.
yes,
Mm-hmm.
no? And the people in the shelter cannot stay that longer.
Yeah, yeah.
And so every time we have new people, and
Mm,
every time people that we had before they left, no?
yeah.
So it's very difficult to have a continuity, no? The
Mm-hmm.
same people or the 10 sessions, no?
Yeah, yeah, because these are they're wonderful and like and intensive skills that you're trying to teach them, right? And yeah, to really that's really difficult. I was thinking that I was wondering how long they tend to stay there, and there's probably lots of turnover I would expect. Um, Another question I have is, do you guys, and this is probably also hard if they're turning over so often, but do you do any evaluation of the workshop? So do you maybe go to the participants, give them, I don't know, for example, like a survey and ask them what they've learned and I don't know, collect data about how things have been going for you guys?
Well, we have tried to do some.
Yeah.
It's not easy because of every time it's new people, no? Every
Yeah.
time you
Yeah.
have different people. And but we have been trying to do some to collect some data to get some no some information. And but yeah, this semester we didn't pursue that because we had a very different people, and
Yeah.
also the language doesn't help
Yeah.
because we
Yeah.
have people that really they don't speak they speak like a dialect.
Mm-hmm.
They don't
Mm-hmm.
speak even if they are from for example Kenya, uh,
Mm-hmm.
that is the official language is English, but really the people who are living in Kenya, they don't speak English.
Yeah. Yeah.
It is their own dialect from the specific region of Kenya, so it's difficult because also for the language, no?
Yeah. Yeah. That would be very hard to navigate. Yeah. Well, thank you for answering. Does anyone else have questions for Elsa?
I want to invite you if you want to come. If you want to come, if you want to visit the shelter, if you have an idea or to make a project with
Yeah.
the population there, you can do it, no? And welcome.
What an open invite. Oh my goodness. Yeah,
Yes,
that would be
yes.
wonderful.
Yes, if you want, if you need a place to stay, let me know now, and we can work it out.
Yeah.
I just wanted to echo, that was really quite a good presentation and just lots of admiration for the work. Obviously, it's struggle. It's not easy work. You're navigating quite a lot of complexity. Uh, and I just think it's really important that groups like yours are stepping up to do this, even though there should be more support from government and different policies in the U.S. that make this work uh, more bearable, right? So, but yeah, I just wanted to extend appreciation. Obviously, it's making a big difference in those people's lives. So,
Yeah. Yeah.
Thank you.
I absolutely echo Kai's sentiments. Yeah, sometimes we don't have the capacity or the ability to collect it, and data's not everything. Like what you guys are doing is so incredibly important, and yeah, and very difficult, but needed work. So thank you so much for sharing. Um, yeah, if anyone wants to follow up with Elsa about that. They should do that. I can put I could put your email in or maybe you could put your email in the chat if you want,
Yeah,
Elsa, so
sure.
that people can have your email for follow up. I see that Stephanie did have to leave. Okay, our very last task, which we've got a whopping six people here, would be to change our interest group name. And I can send out an email to the group, the whole listserv too, and tell people, I think most people probably won't have objections, right? But I can tell people like if they have objections, please reach out to me. Um, so I'll put this here in the chat. We will be changing our name, hopefully from the Environment and Justice Interest Group to the Climate and Environmental Justice Interest Group. So I guess if you are in support of the change, you could, if you're on camera, just raise your hand. Or if are not on camera, you can put your hand up. So if you are in support of the change, go ahead and raise your hand. That's okay. Okay. So that's all of us. Okay, 6 out of 6. 100% of the people who are at the meeting at the end here. Um, I can follow up with the two people who had to leave, Stephanie and Jenny from earlier. And I know Nikki was also in support of the change as well. I emailed her, so I think it's looking good. But yeah, so that'll probably be. I'll contact the SCRA leadership and get those logistics settled with them, and we'll be putting that. That'll probably be changed on the official website, and yeah, it's exciting. So we've also got, as Shada said, just one last reminder, we've got the survey, the membership survey, which will be coming out hopefully towards the end of January, just to, yeah, get a temperature check of the group and where people are at and what they want to contribute to and where they see it going. Um, yeah. So that's all I have for today. Does anyone else want to share anything before we hop off? Any closing thoughts?
Just a quick question I put in the chat earlier. Is anybody planning to go to the International CP conference in Nigeria?
I would have loved to, but this time I don't have the money. I don't have the same sort of support from the university anymore because budget cuts and stuff, so I won't be able to make it.
It's unfortunate.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I've got a family.
Mhm.
Just can't imagine going to Nigeria at the moment. Uh, much encouragement to everyone else. Yeah. So I won't be able to make it. Yeah. Uh, I did want to briefly just put out, I guess a thumbs up or a kudos for initiating a name change like this. It was, I like that this isn't like an overhaul, but it helps to clarify our identity and it's more active language, maybe going from environment to environmental.
Mhm.
Anyway, I like that it flows better. And so just wanted to appreciate that. Um, yeah, we just kind of had we've had that name for a long time, and this feels fresh.
Just a little
So
makeover, just a small one.
I've always wondered there's probably history behind, like maybe it was this first and then they needed to combine or something. But I've always never called it the right name. And that's my
Yeah.
own personal, like, I'm like, oh, I'm like tripping over my words.
right, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
But, well,
It's
great.
a good initiative, and maybe it'll open up a little bit of you know, greater interest as well in the group to be more explicitly linking to climate.
Yeah,
Uh, so
that was sort of some of the feedback I'd gotten. I'd gotten people who came up to our table and stuff when I tabled at the Scrub Biennial who were like, I think I'm interested, but I'm not really sure what this name means, And we were
right.
that's part of the drive behind it, certainly.
Mm, yeah.
Okay, well, we are over time, but thank you, everyone, and another round of applause to Elsa for her
Thank you.
presentation. Thank you so much. Oh, another quick reminder, there is a really wonderful another talk happening on Friday morning. I think anyone can register. It's the Division 34 of the of APA. They're doing this interdivisional climate justice series, and it is the last. Sorry, that link is not great. But if you click on that link, it takes you to the registration for the talk. It's Friday morning, 10 a.m. Eastern time. Um, and it's on cultivating climate justice beliefs for transformative social change. That is what it's called. So, yeah, just wanted to give that a little shout out.
Cool. Would you like
Thank
to share
you.
this to the larger chat or the larger listserv
Yeah,
to
yeah, I can, I
read?
can, I can send it to. I did already send it a while ago when it
Oh,
first
okay.
came out. Yeah, yeah, but I can share it again as well.
Well, that's great. Thank you.
All right. Well,
Okay.
thank you so much, everyone, for coming and being engaged and helping us, update the name. And I hope everyone gets lots of rest over this winter season and holiday season, and that we're all just doing our best to take care of ourselves. Yeah. All
Yeah.
right.
Take care, everyone. Hope you enjoy some slower times.
Bye. Happy
Thank you
Bye,
both.
holidays.
everyone.
Bye. Thanks, Elsa, especially.
Bye.
Bye.